Hello everyone, I'm Reckless Nymph. Today, inspired by the solar eclipse, we'll be exploring something different. I will be reading into why you can't sleep at night. This is a new topic for me, so the cards might cover dreams or real-life experiences. We'll see. Also, from my experience, interpreting dreams can be tricky due to their abstract nature. Add to that this is a collective reading. So with these things in mind, just take what resonates. If you find that the reading doesn't resonate at all, feel free to come back to this part of the video to choose another pile. And to get the most out of your reading, please listen to this with discernment and approach it with personal responsibility. While this video is meant for entertainment, you can still take some time to reflect on your reading after. These insights can support healing and personal growth if applied practically and thoughtfully. Now choose the pile that you feel drawn to the most. Thank you for listening, and I will see you at your reading. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this sun card and this beautiful crescent-shaped stone, then this is your reading. Today we'll be exploring why you can't sleep at night. We'll examine any real-life experiences that might be contributing to your restlessness, offer advice on overcoming those situations or the emotions that they've stirred, and wrap up the reading by looking into any actionable steps you can take to improve your sleep. Now, before everything, I will look into which elements might be present in the dream or experience that haunts you. That way you can gauge if you are on the right pile. We have blessing. So what elements might be present in the experience or dream that keeps you up? It could be that someone has pointed a finger at you, blaming you for something. The dreamer experience might involve angels. It might involve nudity, so these are common dreams. Themes of vulnerability, closeness, feeling chosen for something, a feeling of being imparted knowledge, people clinging on to you or depending on you. What else can we see here? Dreamer, the dreamer experience could be happening at dusk. It could involve an authority figure. Someone blonde. Someone that you find beautiful. Again, a person that might cling on to you. So these might be the elements present in the dreamer experience that keeps you up. Now, if that makes you think of anything, we will now look into any real life experiences that might be contributing to your restlessness. So, what real life experiences might be contributing to your restlessness? First, we have the Lovers. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. And to clarify, we have the Tower, the Three of Wands, the Six of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles. So what is it that might be happening in your life that is contributing to these feelings of restlessness? So this could point to a relationship either with another person or with oneself or with a community. We'll know as we continue the reading. Now, it could be that in the beginning, everything felt good and stable in this relationship. If there were any challenges in the relationship, I think that because of clear communication, it was easy to overcome these things, even if they sometimes felt very challenging. There's a feeling here of being there for one another. There's a feeling of trust and closeness. Reliability, being able to depend on one another, being able to understand each other's shadows. I think that if there was any confusion present in the relationship or present in external circumstances, things outside of the relationship, you and this person or this community or with yourself, you're able to ground that. So you're able to kind of pull yourself, or this person or this community was able to pull you back down to earth, keep you from overthinking. But it seems that this connection that you have with yourself or with this person or with this community, it might have ended, or it might be that, how do I say this? It might be that things are not the same anymore in this connection. It could be that something unexpected happened in order to kind of take away the stability that used to be present in this relationship. So this might have been something that neither you nor this person or community or yourself expected to happen. It could be that whatever occurred is external to the relationship. I will just refer to, if this is you or another person or a community, just to make the rest of the reading easier, I'll just say you. Or they, sorry. Okay, so they, them. So this came as a surprise to both of you. It caught the both of you off guard and negatively impacted you both. So whatever happened could be as simple as coming across a piece of information, something that news that came suddenly and unexpectedly. What else am I seeing here? It could be that there were plans to pursue something having to do with creating or bringing stability into one's life or into your shared life. These might have been things that were long planned. These might have been things that were supposed to be for the both of you. It might have been a very important dream or goal. And again, I'm getting that there's confusion here, sadness or heavy emotions, but it used to be that there was a lot of hopefulness about this, about where you were headed. But it could be that the road towards that vision or towards that goal was more challenging than expected. So there might have been some obstacles along the way that you did not expect, or you both did not expect, until after starting that journey. So because it took so long to prepare for this, and because you and they were so invested in this vision, in this goal, it could be that something happened, some sort of news related to the situation came suddenly and unexpectedly to deeply challenge this connection. So I'm seeing that this information is something heavy, it's something important, it's something that you're still holding on to. If there are other people involved, whatever this lovers represents, then it could be that they're holding on to that information as well. So wanting to be hopeful despite finding something out that is getting in the way of meeting this vision or goal. It could even be that the information had to do with making a major decision that would, again, get in the way of this shared vision. If this is involving a lot of people, then it could be that this decision was hard to agree on because everyone had different opinions on the best course of action. If this is involving another person, then it could be that this major decision, again, it was hard to come to a conclusion together because perhaps other people outside of the connection were getting in the way and trying to impose their opinions on you or this other person. And if this is something that you are experiencing by yourself, then the same idea applies, in that it might have been difficult for you to decide something here. And already because it's something that directly and deeply impacts this vision of yours, it's hard to come to a decision. And with other people trying to get involved, that made it even more difficult. So regardless of the number of people involved in this situation, I would say that definitely it took a lot of energy to overcome this. It took a lot of energy to try and see through this, to try and understand, to try to come to an understanding here. But I'm getting that moving forward, it could be that you now feel that you are alone in the situation. You might feel that there's kind of a darkness looming over you about this. You might feel that moving forward, things are out of your control. You might have learn to keep your guard up because of this experience, not to trust easily, to be careful about how you approach things, and to be careful about your resources, your shared resources. So this could be financial resources, physical, mental, emotional resources. Again, regardless of the number of people involved, it could be that if other people were outside of this relationship with yourself or with others, if other people outside of this got involved, it could be that you felt that everything was on you, that everything was riding on you, and you might have felt that you had to be the one to do everything here and safeguard another person or the other people involved. And that these people or this person was depending on you and placing a lot of hope in you to see things through. So it could be that the news might have also been something good, that despite it's something bringing something good into your life, it would involve you making a major decision that would directly and deeply impact this connection. So that is what I'm seeing. Now, let's get some advice on how to overcome the situation or the emotions that they've stirred. Actually, why did I remove that? The illustration is so nice. It deserves to be seen. Okay. So let's get some advice on overcoming the situation. We have the Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Wands again. And to clarify, we have the Four of Swords, as well as the Eight of Cups. Okay, so this is the advice for the situation, and for the emotions that they've stirred, we have the King of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords, clarified by Temperance, as well as the Queen of Cups. Okay. So advice on how to overcome the situation. Unfortunately, what I see is that you have to move forward alone. It could be that this experience has something to do with graduating, or it could have to do with higher education. It could have to do with learning something important that can move you forward. And by coming to this opportunity, I think you might have had to choose whether or not to distance yourself from another person, again, a community, or if this is having to do with yourself, then you're leaving something behind that ties closely to your identity, or you feel that you are now assuming a new identity or expanding on your current identity. So you feel that this is going to bring about a big change. Again, you have to move forward alone. Trust that the work involved is going to take you places, but the heights that you might reach will be lonely, and that is part of the process. That is part of this vision or this goal. I think this is something that you might have already seen coming. If it's not symbolic of that, then this is you coming closer to, or coming to a deeper understanding of yourself and what you truly want. That might be difficult to grapple with. You might be called to reevaluate your current relationship to yourself or to another or to other people. And how these relationships contribute to your progress, your learning, your progress, your growth. And how your progress also affects others, and how that is contributing to people leaving or becoming absent in your life, or that how that is contributing to there being more absence within the relationships in your life. So it could be that you are leaving something that to you feels like home in order to achieve something better, in order to have more stability, to go further in life, or to experience something new, to walk down a new path, because you have to know what's out there. You have to know how far you can go, how much you can grow, and how far this could lead. So that is the advice for this situation. You have to keep moving forward, and reevaluate the things that I mentioned. But as you move forward, again, that road to the top might be lonely, and you have to think about how this is going to affect your identity and your relationships. Now, what is the advice for overcoming the emotions that this experience has stirred? So again, I'm getting that you have to take some time to honestly confront what truly matters to you. It could be that you are taking for granted some things in your life that have value, but the value of which cannot be logically measured. So you might be placing a lot of importance in the wrong things. I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying that that's what it looks like in the cards. So if if you feel that this reflects your thoughts, that's all I'm reading here. You have to consider again what holds the most importance to you, and whether what holds importance to you is what truly makes you happy and makes you feel enriched. I'm getting that another part of the advice is to think about how this will affect you emotionally long term, how this is going to shape your sense of home, your sense of belonging, your sense of community, whether that is important to you. Think about how these things contribute to you emotionally, how these things contribute to your happiness. Think long term about how these aspects of your life will change as you continue to pursue your bigger vision or your bigger goals. I'm also getting that you might be at a stage where you're not sure where this will lead, and there's a lot of confusion, but you're alone, or you feel alone in this journey, and you're just trying to keep going and to basically be your own cheerleader as you navigate things kind of blindly. Again, I'm getting that you must be honest with yourself and confront these thoughts that you have that you might be turning away from. I'm getting that you have to confront these things because they might also be getting in your way. There might be some truths here that you have to face, and until you do that, this might even hold you back. So you're neither going back to something or moving forward, but you feel that despite what you're doing, you are still in the same place, or you feel stuck or something. It's just that the progress will never feel like real progress because you don't know what you've committed to, or there's a truth that you've yet to confront. And again, the last thing that I'm getting as advice here to on how to handle these emotions that this dreamer experience has stirred is again to consider how all of these things are going to affect you emotionally long term, and whether what you are pursuing will truly enrich you. Consider whether the people that you want behind you are the people that will further your vision, or the people who will make you feel more emotionally or spiritually enriched, more supported, or whether you can try to strike a balance. So I see you trying to walk in the middle of this, and you're leaning towards something that has more abundance, but then you're leaning towards something that has this feeling of abundance, of growth, but you're leaning more or not, you're not leaning, sorry, you're while you're leaning more towards this thing that has more abundance, that has more growth, that feels more natural and freeing, you're still walking towards something that has more structure, more conventional, a more conventional look of success, something that feels more materially stable. Okay, now let's look into actionable steps that you can take to improve your sleep. So, what are actionable steps that you can take in order to improve your sleep? And so it's not intimidating, I'll just ask what small steps you can take in order to improve your sleep. So first of all, we have death, completely contradicting what I just said. I said something small. Okay, we have the Seven of Wands. We have the Hanged Man. And finally, we have the Nine of Swords. So what actionable steps can you take in order to improve your sleep? So I will read this in two ways. I will read this as like small everyday things, and I will also try to read this like as something more like a bigger picture thing. So actionable steps that you can take. First is that you have to move forward. This is about endings and new beginnings. So you don't necessarily have to give up your dreams, but move forward into something new. So you can try to find a balance. If what you're leaving behind is very important to you, and your goals and your vision is also important to you, it doesn't have to be one or the other. So if you fall back into your comfort zone or what it is that is important to you in the past, then that's not really opening yourself up to change. But if you completely end things, just ask yourself if you can try to strike a balance and bring about change in that way and a new beginning in that way, or if you have to grow completely and change things completely and basically undergo this brutal transformation. Other advice that will help you sleep at night: you have to own up to your choices, despite what other people will say or what they will decide for you. It doesn't make sense to try to convince others of why you're doing what you're doing. It could be that this is a shadow that you have to, a shadow element or a shadow aspect that you have to work on, always having to defend yourself. It could be that you might need to just own up to what you're doing and feel comfortable with the fact that other people are just not going to, some people are just not going to agree with you, and that it's okay for you to move forward without pleasing everyone. Otherwise, I think that if you don't do that, you're going to hit a wall, and this will feel like a constant struggle for you. Another thing that I can see as advice in order for you to improve your sleep is to try and take some time to ground yourself and think of things from a different perspective. I can see that part of your growth and part of building a more stable inner world. I'm so sorry for the noise. I don't know what is going on with this dog. So again, I think that you are aware that there's, oh my God, this dog. I think that you are aware that there's something about the situation that is meant to be part of your growth. So I'm getting that part of building on your emotional stability, or like your foundation of like your inner world is to shift your perspective and try to think of things in a new way. Again, not necessarily completely leaving the things that you feel at home with. You can still take this with you. It just doesn't have to rule you because it's still present here. The home is still present here. So it could be that there are just some things from this thing that you're leaving that no longer serves you, and that is all that needs to fall behind, or that you need to leave behind. And finally, you need to look behind the curtain and confront some thoughts that you are choosing not to look into right now. I think that this is because you're not confronting these truths, or because you're not confronting these thoughts that you know are lingering in the back of your mind, that is contributing a lot to your unrest. Now, if I could read this as like some everyday things. How can I read this as small everyday things? I don't think that there's a small everyday thing that you can do to improve your sleep. I think you need to confront this thing. Okay. I think I will end this reading here. Thank you, pile number 1, for watching this reading all the way through if you did. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like so I know that you want to see more videos just like this. Subscribe for more tarot readings as I'll be posting regularly, and leave a comment down below. Tell me how you relate to this and what you might want me to explore in the next video. I appreciate your time and attention. See you next time. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. Today we'll be exploring why you can't sleep at night. We'll examine any real-life experiences that might be contributing to your restlessness, offer advice on overcoming those situations or the emotions that they've stirred, and wrap up the reading by looking into any actionable steps you can take to improve your sleep. So if you chose this sun card and or this crescent-shaped stone, then this reading is for you. Now, before everything, I will look first into which elements might be present in the dream or experience that haunts you. That way you can gauge if you are on the right pile. So, let's start. So, what elements might be present in the experience or dream that contributes to your restlessness? Okay, so we have wedding. So this experience or dream, well, it's a bit on the nose, but of course I have to mention it. It could be about a wedding. It could be about fears of being stood up at your wedding, or at a future wedding. It could have to do with anxieties around pushing through with a wedding. It could have to do with anxieties around marriage, around commitment, fears of ending up with someone who will abandon you, someone who for some reason cannot commit to you, the person that you're committed to turning out to be someone who will leave. A lot of fears and anxieties having to do with marriage, commitment, and weddings in general. So there are a million examples. What other elements might be present in this dream or experience that contributes to your restlessness? So I can see that it might be about interracial relationships. This could also talk about a difference in age, culture, religion, things of that sort. It could have to do with a feeling of being played, a feeling of there being someone else, like a third party, or a feeling of being trapped in a commitment. The dream, if this is a dream, or well, actually, even if it is an experience, it could have to do with flying, falling. It could involve people that you don't know, having a fear around people that you don't know. Fears and anxieties around humiliation, the experience being shameful. Being humiliated around strangers, having to carry that with you. The dream or experience could involve cars, it could involve travel, it could involve long distance relationships, long distance travel, someone who has one foot in, one foot out of the relationship, someone who looks back at past experiences or past relationships, someone that you cannot read, someone who shows themselves to you differently than how they show themselves to others. difference in social class. What else am I seeing here? It could have to do with dreaming of getting married, deeply wanting commitment, long-term commitment, deeply wanting a lifelong partner. So it can be positive, of course. It could be that you are anxious about finding this person. So there's a lot of examples around weddings and relationships and commitment. So I will not name them all, but you get the idea. Now, let's look at any real life experiences that might be contributing to your restlessness. First off, we have the Two of Swords. We have the Three of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Four of Pentacles. And to clarify, we have the Moon. Yes, the Moon. We have the Ten of Swords. Ay, ay, ay. This could involve French or Spanish people. The Knave, the Page of Cups. And finally, we have the Eight of Swords. So, what real life experiences might be contributing to your restlessness? So, as I said, there's already so many possibilities with just weddings alone. So, anything that I say here, let's just say that it applies to weddings, commitments, relationships. But for the purpose of just keeping things simple, I will just use the word weddings. Okay. So what real life experiences might be contributing to your restlessness? First of all, I'm seeing that again, there might be a big difference in social class. It could be that there is a need to continuously work and toil towards meeting this goal of having a wedding. So it might be that you feel there's so much that you have to do, there's so much that you have to sacrifice, and there's so much that you have to give in order to have this wedding. What else am I seeing? If this is a wedding, then you might be having a difficult time trying to decide whether or not you want to push through with this. I think that you are not ready for this big commitment. I think this is not something that is easy for you to process. This is not an easy thing for you to deal with. And so you are keeping all of your thoughts and emotions to yourself and closing yourself off from others and hiding. Go away, please. There's a bug here, sorry. It could be that you're hiding these thoughts and feelings from others, and you're trying to grapple with these heavy emotions by yourself. Either you have told or you have confided in your closest friends. I'm so sorry for the noise. Either you have confided in your closest friends, or this card is advising you to consider confiding in your closest friends. I think that you need to, how do I say this? you need to lean, or you might feel that you need to lean on others in order to kind of go back down to earth and feel a sense of balance. This wedding could happen around the time that there is a solar eclipse. I actually did not expect this symbol to pop up. So this wedding might happen around April 8th, which is supposed to be today, or this happened around another time that there was a solar eclipse. It doesn't have to resonate with everyone. What I am getting here is that you are grappling with some really heavy emotions, and you might need to lean on someone in order to ground yourself and kind of come back to your senses. If this is a wedding, then you might be thinking deeply about how this is going to affect you long term and how it's going to affect things in general long term, where this might lead, if you will be happy there, if this is an opportunity that you are even ready for, or if this is closed off from you, if you are closed off from this emotionally. I'm getting that you might be considering leaving someone at the altar, or leaving someone in general, and not pushing through with a wedding, or pushing through with this big commitment. I think that you have a lot of anxieties around this. This might not be something that is easy for you to open up about. I think that you are scared, that there is a lot of confusion and fear and doubt. I think that you are considering leaving, and you're aware of how this is going to affect others and how much it is going to hurt them and make them feel betrayed. And so you might even be considering doing this quickly and unexpectedly, hurriedly. And I think that you're trying to avoid a conversation about it. So if it's not you that feels that you have to work so hard in order to deserve this wedding, or deserve this relationship, or deserve this commitment, or if it's not you that you feel has to work in order to achieve this, then it could be that you feel that the other person is the one who has to bridge that gap, who is the one that is lesser in social class. So whichever one in the relationship is lesser in social class is the one who is more emotionally invested in the situation. And you might fear that because they're entirely trusting in you and they have their guard down about this, that they are invested in this, that it will deeply affect them more emotionally, and that oh, sorry about that, my cat jumped. There's a fear here about how this is going to affect another person, or other people even. I think that there are a lot of fears around this wedding, or this commitment, this long-term, lifelong commitment, that are really scaring you, making you overthink, making it difficult for you to feel that flow of love, that natural flow of love. it's making it difficult for you to let go, to breathe. I think that you need a breath of fresh air, like a sigh of relief. You need a break. This is very challenging for you. You make it, actually, that's the thing. You are creating these thoughts. You are creating these thoughts and kind of paralyzing yourself and making it challenging to, again, have that sense of balance, have that sense of stability. You're distancing yourself from that by overthinking the situation and making it difficult for you to connect with your emotions or your positive emotions, to connect with the free flowing romantic emotions that you used to be able to connect to. You're trying very hard to, again, keep that sense of balance. I think that you're wanting to disconnect, to, how do you say this? To protect yourself. I think that this might be draining for you. Now, if this isn't you, then this, I might be reading another person's energy. So if you are going to have a wedding and this is not reflecting your thoughts and feelings, then it might be another person. Now, if this is not a wedding, then I might just be talking about a commitment, or a very deep commitment, higher commitment, long-term commitment. What else am I seeing here? If you are not in a commitment and you are not going to get married, then it could be that you have a deep-seated fear about this, about getting into the wrong relationship, investing so much, working so much, only for that person to suddenly slip away. Or you might have a fear of finding yourself in a relationship that you're happy with and that you are invested in up until it gets to a higher commitment, and then you fear that you will not be able to handle that experience and that you will have to run away. So there's so many different ways to interpret this, but I hope that I'm making sense. Now, let's look into advice on overcoming the situation or the emotions that they've stirred. Okay, so what advice can we get in order for you to overcome this? Okay. So I will take the ones that showed up. So this is advice for overcoming the situation. Okay, so we have the Two of Swords, the Tower, and to clarify, we have the High Priestess and the Page of Pentacles. Now, let's also get some advice on how you could overcome the emotions that this dream or experience has stirred. So we have the Wheel of Fortune, again, the Seven of Cups, and to clarify, we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. So let's get some advice on how to overcome the situation. I think that when it comes to making your decision about this wedding or this higher commitment, this is something that you already know. This is something that you already have an intuition about. But it will be difficult for you to access your intuition if you cannot quiet your mind. If you fill your mind with fear and doubt and overthink this, then it will be difficult for you to know the truth. So I think just take a deep breath, meditate on this, try to, if it's possible, in the earlier spread it showed connecting with friends. If it's possible for you to confide in someone, then that already will help you. Well, as it said in the earlier spread, it will help you to ground yourself if you're able to lean on someone else. So that might be the first step, that you need to lean on someone else, and that person or those people, those friends, can ground you. And then once they're able to help you with that, then your mind would be less wrapped up in these heavy emotions, and then you should be able to have a clearer mind and come closer to this conclusion. So it could be that you're trying to decide something very important. Lifelong commitment is a very important decision that cannot be taken lightly. And I think that you are just being very responsible about this. It's only right to place importance in this and to truly evaluate what you want. I think another advice here is to try and take control of your emotions rather than letting your emotions take control of you. What else am I seeing? Advice on how to overcome this experience. I think that you're not wanting to confront the truth, because the truth is something that will surprise you or surprise the other or surprise other people. And it's something that will cause a stir in your relationship or within yourself. I mean, you don't have to be waiting to be married. It could be that you're coming to a realization about what you want long term, and this is not something that you want to confront because maybe you had other expectations or beliefs around this, and that is changing. So if this is involving other people, then it could be that you're not wanting to confront this because of how it will affect others. You might feel obligated, you might feel tied to this. I'm getting that, again, it will cause a stir, it will shock people, it will cause a lot of negative emotions, it will cast doubt on you. What is advice for confronting or for overcoming this situation? I think you need to, first of all, what I said about in the earlier spread, going to friends to confide in them and having them help you feel more grounded, accessing your intuition, an answer that you already know. I think that you need to accept that whatever this truth is, it's either going to be very difficult for you, for just you, or it's going to be very difficult for everyone. So I'm getting that you're undecided about this. I'm getting that there's something here that you have to question. It could be that you have to question what stability means to you. You have to question what it is that you truly want long term, what it is that you truly consider long term stability. Consider what it is that truly makes you feel grounded, truly makes you feel stable and at peace, something that you are comfortable with, something that feels natural to you. Otherwise, I think that you will have your guard up around others, and it will make the situation very dark and confusing anyway. Now, advice on how to overcome the emotions that this dreamer experience has stirred. If you feel that there is a lot of work involved on your part in order to achieve this or to feel that you deserve this, then know that this opportunity is open to you, that there are actually no obstacles getting in the way of this opportunity. And it could be that you are creating these obstacles yourself. And what I'm seeing here is that the view is similar, right? So it could be that you're seeing this opportunity, but then projecting these challenges onto it in order to justify why you deserve this, or to justify why you deserve this, or to make sense of how to achieve this. So maybe a wedding or a higher commitment to you is an opportunity that is actually truly open to you, but you're making it so you feel that you have to give so much and sacrifice so much and work so hard in order to deserve this or in order to achieve this, when actually you already deserve this. And this is something that you can already achieve without having to jump through all of these hoops. Likewise, if this is talking about another person, then you might be creating all of these unnecessary challenges for them in order for you to feel that they deserve you, or that they've worked enough for this wedding or this higher commitment. And another advice in order to overcome the emotions that this dreamer experience has stirred, I think that there are a lot of possibilities. You might have already imagined a million different scenarios about how this could go and what the future holds for you should you go down certain paths. But at the center of all that, I think that you already know what you truly want and what it is, again, that truly feels natural to you, something that brings you or makes you feel at peace, something that defines your stability, something that you can feel comfortable in. Whatever situation this is, it also comes with emotional challenges, but it seems that these are emotional challenges that you're more comfortable with. And at the same time, these challenges seem not to affect others. In order to overcome this emotionally, I think first, don't create all of these challenges and know that you are already enough, or that your person is already enough, that you don't have to give so much in order to deserve a wedding or a higher commitment. It could be something as simple as thinking that you have to work so hard just to get married, just to afford a wedding, when in fact you could just go to, I don't know, where do you go to court, or I don't know how it works. But you know what I mean, like you don't have to spend so much just to get married. And it is not humiliating to get married in that way. Another thing is you might be rushing something here, so you might feel so pressured to achieve this. You might want to find your lifelong partner immediately. You might want to have this big wedding immediately. Something here is being rushed. Something here is putting a pressure on you and making it difficult for you just to enjoy things, to feel peace, to feel at peace here. So that is what I'm seeing. Let me get a sip of water. Now, before we end the reading, let's look into some actionable steps that you can take in order to improve your sleep. So I will try to look at some everyday things that you can do, but from what I've learned from pile number 1, it might just give me big picture lessons instead. So let's be open to anything. So what actionable steps can you take in order to improve your sleep? First off, we have the Knight of Swords. We have the Hermit. We have the Five of Wands. And we have the Four of Wands. So what actionable steps can you take in order to improve your sleep? So first of all, I'm seeing that you just need to come out. So if there's something that you need to say, if there's something that you have been holding back on, something that you need to express, you need to talk. So you need to talk. It could be just with one person or a few people that you feel that you can really trust. The point is that I think that there's something here that you are bottling up that needs to be released. And so the first advice is just as a small everyday action, although I can understand why it would feel major in this situation, is you need to talk. Now, another thing that I see here is that understand that this is a lesson that you need to go through by yourself. So you might again need to meditate on this. Take some time to clear your mind in order for you to access your intuition. It could be that you are going through something that not a lot of people around you can relate to. So you might feel alone in this struggle or in this challenge. So understand that you can find these answers, and even though there's no one who can, or there's no one immediately around you who can help you to get out of this, or directly help you to overcome this, or who can even completely relate to your situation, that is okay. You will be able to handle this. I think that it will just take some time, and it might feel like an overwhelming task, but I'm getting that you have to remain calm, and hopeful and optimistic about the situation, and trust that you already know the answer. It's just that you need time to access it. I'm also getting that you're not going to be able to avoid conflict, so you might have to accept that no matter what, there is conflict ahead. This is not something that can be avoided, especially if there are a lot of people involved. I'm getting that everyone might have a better idea than you on what to do with your situation, but the truth is that no one is going to know what's best for you other than yourself. So I'm seeing here that your answers are coming out on top, because no matter how much other people want to fight against what's best for you, or how much other people contradict you or have better ideas or opinions on what you should do, no one truly knows what action fits yourself and your understanding of yourself better than you. And finally, I'm getting that it might help you to connect with your chosen family. So this could be your literal family, your immediate family. This could be your parents, your siblings. This could be your chosen family, so specific friends, specific people in your life, co-workers or mentors that you turn to. What matters is that there's a community that is available to you, and this is something that you already have access to. You just need to access it. Don't get in your way. The only way to get some help is to ask for it. Nobody's gonna know what you're going through if you don't say anything, because these people are gonna go about their lives because they cannot read your mind. So trust in the stability that you can find in these relationships, in your community, or in your chosen family. And again, it's just going back to that idea that you have to lean on others in order to regain your stability. So I think I will end it here. There's so many different examples around weddings and commitments and all these things. So I hope that the reading at least resonates with someone, or that I at least made sense. I cannot possibly think of every example around this, but yeah. So I think I will end it here. Thank you, pilot number 2, for watching this reading all the way through if you did. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like so I know that you want to see more videos just like this. Subscribe for more tarot readings as I'll be posting regularly. And leave a comment down below. Tell me how you relate to this and what you might want me to explore in the next video. I appreciate your time and attention. I'll see you next time. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. Today we'll be exploring why you can't sleep at night. We'll examine any real-life experiences that might be contributing to your restlessness, offer advice on overcoming those situations or the emotions that they've stirred, and wrap up the reading by looking into any actionable steps you can take to improve your sleep. So if you chose this Sun card, as well as this green crescent-shaped stone, then this reading is for you. Now, before everything, I just want to look into which elements might be present in the dream or experience that haunts you. That way you can gauge if you're on the right pile. So let's start. So we have sailing. So what elements might be present in this dream or experience that contributes to your restlessness? So this could involve travel. This could involve long distance travel, sailing, ports, ships, boats. This could be set in an old place. The dream could be set in the past, in distant past. You could have, if you believe in this, then you could have dreamt about a past life. It could be that the dream or experience involves leaving people behind, leaving behind family, a partner, your community, people who are familiar to you, people you feel at home with. There could be dragons in this dream, reptiles. The dream could be extremely surreal. It could be in a foreign land. With exotic architecture. Dream or experience could involve another culture. So I think that is all that I'm seeing. Now, if any of these elements are present in the dream or experience, If there's anything that comes to mind, then you are on the right pile. We will now look into any real life experiences that might be contributing to your restlessness. So first off, we have the Eight of Coins. We have the Six of Wands, the Three of Cups, and the King of Swords. And to clarify, we have the Six of Swords. These are some really big cards. Okay. We also have the Four of Coins, the Five of Cups, and the Devil. Okay. So what real life experiences might be contributing to your restlessness? This could be something work related, something that contributes to your growth or success. The success having to do with material stability. It could be that you are trying to build something in your life, something that might involve you traveling a long distance, traveling over a body of water, traveling to a foreign country, or leaving people behind, your partner, people that you feel at home with, people who are familiar to you. It could be that you feel that you are in a rush to make progress in your life. Again, with the Six of Swords here, I think that is confirming that this could be something that involves long distance travel and traveling to another country or over a body of water. So, again, I'm getting this feeling that you might be leaving people behind, and this is something that is causing you pain. It could be that you deeply care about these people and you feel deeply connected with them, so you share their pain. I'm getting that you feel that this success that you're striving towards comes with some sacrifices, sacrifices that you have to suffer by yourself. It could be that you feel that you're alone in this pursuit, that you cannot depend on the people that you are leaving behind to help you in this. I mean, in a practical sense. So, even if these people are able to support you emotionally, you still feel alone in this journey because you are the one that is actually suffering in the experience. You are the one that's in your experience. I'm getting that community is really important in this situation. People that you feel very close to. It doesn't necessarily have to be family. It could also be a chosen family, so friends. It doesn't matter if you are adopted or dating, or you have a family, or you've built your own family. The point is that whoever these people are that are involved, they are your chosen family. They're the ones that you feel very deeply emotionally connected to. I'm getting again that they're connected to you emotionally. They are connected to your peace. They are connected to your stability. It could be that they bring you that sense of peace and stability just by being in a relationship with these people. So multiple people involved. It could be that because you are so tied to them emotionally or energetically, that it is making it difficult for you to handle this experience of suffering something alone in pursuit of material success and traveling somewhere that's unfamiliar to you, and possibly having to go through that transitional period or an adjustment period by yourself, which is very difficult. I can see that you are trying to approach things logically, that you're trying to consider that this is part of, that these challenges are part of the process. You're trying to have a clear mind about things, and you're trying to approach things again logically, analytically, practically. You're considering how this is going to fare practically and the material rewards that could be tied to it if you continue um, in the same direction. You can see there being a lot of opportunity, a lot of positive experiences that could come from this. You're trying to be clear about what you want, and you're trying to be decisive, and you're trying to commit to these decisions that you've made. But at the same time, I can see that you also can't help that this is very challenging for you. It could be bringing you a deep sense of imbalance. It could be that you feel that there's a lot of work that needs to be done, a lot of hoops that need to be jumped, um, that there's a long road ahead of you, and it's not an easy climb. And again, I'm getting this sense of imbalance. This is overwhelming and difficult to deal with. These emotions might be holding you back sometimes. It could be that it gets to a really unhealthy point sometimes when you're overwhelmed. Like me, for example, when I'm overwhelmed, I will hide in a closet and cry. So it could be that you have similar experiences where you feel very much alone in what you're going through, and you feel that there are these things that you are going through emotionally that are holding you back from pursuing your higher goals, and it is hard to grapple with that. The emotions might be very intense. Sometimes the thoughts and emotions might be very dark. If this is a dream, then it is very surreal, and you are seeing a figure that is not clear to you. You feel very tied to something, something that makes it difficult for you to keep marching forward. So that is what I'm seeing. Now let's get some advice on overcoming the situation or any of the emotions that they've stirred. Okay, so let's get some advice on how to overcome the situation. First of all, we have Temperance, and we have the Nine of Wands. To clarify, we have the Seven of Wands, as well as the Ace of Swords. Now, let's look into advice for overcoming the emotions that this dream or experience may have stirred. So we have the Lovers, the Ace of Cups, and to clarify, we have Judgment, as well as the Eight of Cups. Okay, so advice on the situation. I can see that because you are very much overwhelmed, you're trying your best to balance yourself in the situation. So you're trying to um, go inward, or the advice is to go inward and to try to balance yourself emotionally. You might have to do this alone, or a lot of the work could have to do with just you. You can reach out to others for support, but I think that this card is saying that most of the work is on you to balance yourself emotionally. I'm getting that you might need to open up. So, again, it could be about going to others for support, but I think that it's also about opening up to yourself, allowing yourself to release these emotions, allowing these emotions to flow. Allow yourself to feel your emotions, allow yourself to cry, allow yourself some emotional release. I think that there's a long road ahead, but you've already made significant progress. That there are a lot of challenges along the way. These challenges could be people getting in your way, but there are just as many people cheering you on and supporting you as you pursue your goals. You might feel that it is an endless struggle, but actually, you're almost there. I think that you need to trust in yourself, to take a leap of faith, to keep going, try and keep an optimistic mindset about things, because I can see you being overwhelmed by negative thoughts or emotions here, and that you're trying your best again to keep a clear mind and to look at things logically and to think of how this can practically benefit you. I think it would help to, again, access that help that is available to you from 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 others, and that's not going to solve your problems. It's not going to solve all of your problems, but it is going to help and support your progress. I'm getting that you are already confronting challenges head on, and that you are doing so with great clarity, that you're being very decisive about things, that you are clear on your goals, on what you want, that you know the work involved in achieving your goals, in achieving your vision, and you know how far this could go. You have some idea of how far this could go if you would just keep going. And by that I mean what it contributes to your material stability, and how much it can impact your place in your industry. Now, when it comes to how you could overcome the emotions that this experience or dream has stirred, what advice can we get? So, first of all, I see you coming to a major decision here. Um, I'm getting that this decision involves connecting not just with oneself, but also reminding yourself of how this could affect others, how this could affect the whole, like the community. How this could affect your relationship to that community. Whether or not it can cause a divide. There's just a major decision here that needs to be made. It might be difficult for you to see things clearly because of how deep you are in your own situation and how emotionally involved you are in your own situation. That might be making it difficult for you to see things clearly. It could be that you're afraid of there being a divide between you and another person, or the community, or this whole that you are working hard for. Again, I'm getting that you need emotional release. I think that you need support. I think that you need emotional support. You need to come to a decision in order for you to overcome the emotions that this experience or dream has stirred up. Again, you need emotional release. You need others. You need people. You need emotional support. You need to allow yourself to feel. You need to allow your emotions to flow. You need to cry. You need to let things out. And I'm also getting that you might be overwhelmed with the number of people that you've left behind, and that you might be very empathetic, and so you're aware of how this is affecting them emotionally, and that is affecting you emotionally as well. There's a lot of sadness here that needs to be released. You might feel that you are leaving people behind, and this is something that you might feel guilty about. I think you need to understand that people will feel how they will about your leaving. And this is not something that you can control. But what you can control are your own emotions, and how you handle your own emotions, how you handle your own peace and your own stability, your own emotional stability. So I'm really getting that you are not allowing yourself to feel, and instead you are focused on other people's emotions. Okay, so let's look at actionable steps that you can take in order to improve your sleep. So I will try to look at small things that you can do, but I might not be able to help it if the cards will show me more big picture answers. So let's look at any actionable steps that you can take in order to improve your sleep. Okay, so first off, we have the Four of Swords. Next, we have Death, the Five of Swords, and the Ten of Swords. So what actionable steps can you take in order to improve your sleep? Let me just get a sip of water. So what actionable steps can you take in order to improve your sleep? So there's really a lot of darkness here. I'm getting that it could be sleep is your only escape from this, but the fact that this is robbing you of your sleep is the problem. So it's really ironic. I'm getting that you need to be more compassionate towards yourself. You might be carrying a lot of guilt. You might be telling yourself a lot of negative things. So part of the advice is to improve the way that you talk to yourself and improve the way that you treat yourself. So it will not help you to punish yourself for leaving. I think, again, it's suggesting emotional release and allowing your mind to rest, allowing your emotions to rest. If you had to leave people behind, or if you had to end relationships in order for you to pursue your goals, if this involves travel, then I think that you need to forgive yourself for that. You need to accept what it is that you had to sacrifice in order to move forward. Again, I'm getting negative self-talk. Quit arguing with yourself and putting yourself down. Quit making it difficult for yourself to walk forward. Quit punishing yourself for leaving people behind. If you had to bring an ending, then accept it. It will not be difficult, but it's part of this big change that you signed up for. And I'm noticing how harsh I'm talking. Is this the way that you talk to yourself? So that's what I'm getting. Obviously, there's a lot of darkness here. You're inflicting it on yourself, punishing yourself, making it difficult for yourself to continue forward, making it difficult for you to transition, making it difficult for you to adapt to this change, to this big change, that you allowed, that you went into, that you willingly went into. So that is what I'm getting. Now, I think I will end it here. Thank you, pile number 3, for watching this reading all the way through. If you did, I hope that you found it helpful. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like. That way I know that you want to see more videos just like this. Subscribe for more tarot readings, as I'll be posting regularly. And leave a comment down below. Tell me how you relate to this and what you might want me to explore in the next video. I appreciate your time and attention. I will see you next time. Hello, pile 4. Welcome to your reading. Today we'll be exploring why you can't sleep at night. We'll examine any real-life experiences that might be contributing to your restlessness, offer advice on overcoming those situations or the emotions that they've stirred, and wrap up the reading by looking into any actionable steps you can take to improve your sleep. So, if you chose this sun card and this crescent-shaped stone, this reading is for you. And before everything, I will look into which elements might be present in the dream or experience that haunts you. That way you can gauge if you are on the right pile. So let's put this aside for now. And now we will look into any elements that might be present in this experience or dream that's causing you restlessness. Okay, almost. Okay, so youth. So this might be a dream that you had when you were young. It might be a reoccurring dream. It might be an experience from when you were young. It could have to do with youthfulness. It could have to do with a fear of aging, dreams about aging, dreams about being young, being a child, having children, dreams about childhood friends, dreams about imaginary friends from your childhood. This could also have to do with friends, childhood friends, old classmates, old acquaintances, people that you met when you were a child. Social experiences from when you were a child. Close relationships with other children. It could have to do with children in general, having children. It could have to do with gossip, chatter in school, chit-chatting in class, passing notes in class. It could have to do with school. It could have to do with hallways, with rooms, with doors. If it's a dream, then there might have been something similar to this, wherein a passageway leads into a slightly open door and you're curious about what's inside the room. It could have to do with an experience or dream where children are dressed in fine clothing, or people in general are dressed in fine clothing. The dream could have to do with going back to your youth. It could have to do with experiencing youth as someone else. It could be a moment in time, if not a dream, wherein you had short hair. It might have had elements of curiosity, darkness, stepping into the unknown, fear of the unknown. Okay, so that's all I'm getting for the elements that might be present in this dream or experience that keeps you up at night. Now, let's move on to real-life experiences that might be contributing to your restlessness. So if this made you think of any experiences or dreams that might be causing you restlessness, then this is your pile, and we'll now look into any real-life experiences that might be contributing to that. So we have the Seven of Wands. We have the Empress. We have the King of Wands, the Eight of Swords. And to clarify, we have the Nine of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and finally we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, pretty interesting. Okay, so this might have to do with a real life experience wherein you might have experienced inequality or unfair treatment somewhere, but eventually that was able to change. Either you had some sort of authority figure help you out through the situation or help you through the situation. Either that, or this is talking about you and another person or another group of people wherein I would say like the tables have turned. It could be that things started out where another person or another social group was not in your favor, and then through hard work, through slow and steady hard work, you were able to change your circumstances. And then for the other party, things changed as well, but probably it took a turn for the worse. So I'm seeing here that between you and this other party, there might have been competition. It might have been cyclical, or it might have been a long and exhausting process that you went through. Again, there's an inequality here, so it could be a difference in social class, or it could be that there's a difference in your work experience. It could be that they had an advantage over you. For example, they had more experience, they have more of a seniority, they have more authority, they have more connections. Just that there's something here that you perceive as their advantage, something that's missing in you. And for this reason, you might have felt that there was this constant tension and this constant fight and need to fight and need to prove oneself. It could be that this other party would reject your advances, either to establish yourself in that group or to establish a partnership with that person. They might have rejected any offers, especially if you were just starting out and if you did not have much to give to sort of match the value that they were able to bring to the table. This could have happened between you and another party, so another person or another group of people that were older than you. There might have been a big age gap. It could be that you often, in this experience, in this real life experience, you often doubted yourself and your abilities. It could be that you felt outcasted, that you felt that you didn't belong to a group. They might have had a leader in that group that was closed off to you or making it difficult for you to sort of join in with their group. Again, there's that feeling of being disadvantaged, that feeling of not having as much to offer. It could be that you often felt like you were being evaluated, like they were constantly on the fence about whether or not to include you, to absorb you. So this could be a company as well. I'm getting that you didn't have much in terms of experience or in terms of stability, but it could be that you had the same interests as this group, or if this is a company, then it's the same industry. So it could be that you were trying to establish yourself in a certain industry, to make yourself known to a group that had more authority. It could be even just one person, like an expert. But again, there's that feeling of constantly being ignored or outright rejected or shunned. Feeling like, again, that you have to constantly prove yourself, prove your worth. Now, it could be that over time, if this is something that happened years ago when you were much younger, it could be that over time you were able to establish yourself without this group or without much help from this group, simply because you were very determined about what it is that you wanted to achieve. So you put in the work, even though it might have been more difficult to pursue things by yourself. And it was challenging for you, but I'm getting that, again, you were very determined here, and you were willing to take slow and constant steps forward, even if the process took a very long time. So I'm getting dedication here. It could be that eventually you learned how to take advantage of what you have in order to, like in a business context, I would say that eventually you were able to establish yourself a bit and employ people. It could be that because of your experience, you had a better understanding of how to lead people without making them feel outcasted. So people are willingly listening to you, following your advice, following your direction, and you are leading others with compassion. Whereas the other party might have been overconfident, and they might have taken big risks that led to, again, eventually the tables have turned and you were able to attain success, whereas the other party was met with failures. And it could be because they were already well established, they were able to take bigger risks, and some of those big risks did not play out well. So if this is an experience having to do with your money or your career or business, then for the other party, they might have ended up becoming your competition. And again, I'm getting that things did not end well for them. And only through that experience were they able to develop more understanding and more compassion towards you. And I can see that you might have continued to exercise that understanding and compassion towards them rather than kicking them when they're down. If not that, then there on your side there's this focus on work and building things slowly, focusing on the quality of your work and the quality of your output, and doing that humbly. Now, if this is not a business context and it's something else, then I think the same ideas would apply in that there was this competition, feeling like you weren't allowed into a group or allowed into a partnership, and things did not fare well for the other party. Whereas for you, through hard work, through your dedication, by taking small steps, small, careful, thoughtful steps, you were able to build on your success. So this might have been a period in your youth that was filled with struggle, and it's something that keeps you up at night. For some of you, it could be that when things did not go well for your competition or for the other party, I'm getting that you tried to reach out, but I don't see them taking your help. So this might have been humiliating for them. Now, maybe I'm reading into the other party, and what I'm describing here as the other party might be you. And if this was a humiliating experience for you, then that might be why you can't sleep at night. Now, if you are what I've been reading this whole time, then it could be that you can't sleep at night because, again, this was a struggle in your youth that you might still look back on from time to time. Now, let's look into advice on overcoming these situations, the situation or the emotions that they've stirred. Okay, so let's look into advice on overcoming the situation. First, we have the Eight of Cups. And we have the Page of Pentacles clarified by the High Priestess. And the Seven of Cups. Now, for overcoming these emotions, okay, we have the Three of Wands and the Four of Swords, as well as the Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords. Okay, so let's look at advice on how to overcome the situation. So it could be that this experience is something that you're just looking back on. This was a learning experience for you, and it might already be in the distant past. You might have already grown from this experience, learned a lot of practical lessons from it. Um, I would say that you've already grown from this experience. You learned a lot of things that you were able to apply practically into your life, things that might have brought you understanding and inspiration and motivation. Um, these things help you to move forward and understand how to take actions better. So this can apply to a business, this could apply to everyday situations. I'm getting that if this is something that occurred in the distant past, then while you did find it to be a learning experience, I can see that um, there was a deep struggle that this brought to you internally. It might have been a dark period in your life. You might have felt alone. You might have felt emotionally overwhelmed. This might have this experience might have brought you a lot of disappointments. This experience might have made you feel misunderstood, like you feel that you were being unfairly judged. And I'm getting that it might have taken you some time to get through this. I'm getting that you had considered a lot of other options. It might be that you had considered leaving this industry. Again, I'm getting it in a business context, but this doesn't have to resonate in that way for everyone. So I'm just getting that you had considered leaving the situation and trying other things, but I think that you weren't sure about where those things would lead, and ultimately you were invested in what you were doing. Um, and so you stayed there and struggled internally, and often um, had to be your own support system. You had to be the one to talk yourself out of any doubts that you might have had, or you might have developed towards yourself because of being constantly rejected or shunned. You might have had a lot of moments where you had to confront yourself and confront a lot of uncertainties about the future. I think that you might have had moments by yourself wherein you also had to confront um, whether you could see yourself in the future that you had originally planned, because you at the time you were considering um, entering something else. So I'm getting that again, this is something that happened in the past, so you had already overcome the situation. Now, how do you overcome the emotions that this experience has stirred? I'm getting here that physically, materially, um, when it comes to your actions, you're always moving forward. You're always thinking about what lies ahead. You're considering the moves that you make as you go forward. But mentally, you keep going back to this experience. So it could be that no matter how much you've grown, you still feel sometimes that you are in that same place. So you might feel like sometimes you have imposter syndrome, you feel that you don't belong where you currently are, that you don't deserve it. Sometimes you might feel like a fraud. It could be that this past experience had a negative impact on your self-esteem that makes you question and doubt yourself sometimes. So I'm getting that you've come a long way, and you might already be somewhere completely new and entirely different now. You might have learned a lot from that past experience, and you might have gained success from that experience, and you're now moving on to something new and trying to overcome something new at the moment. But you might look back at that experience from time to time. So I'm getting that in order for you to overcome this emotionally, you have to look at things realistically, both in the future and in the past. So when you look into the past, you have to, well, actually, if you're looking at either the past or the future, you have to view yourself in that with an objective lens. So try not to have this negative self-talk, wherein when you're viewing yourself as your past version, you don't view it through the lens of these people that misjudged you. And similarly, when moving forward, you don't exercise the same, viewing yourself again in the lens or through the lens of people that have misjudged you. I'm getting that it could be in the past you experienced some painful things that you did not speak up about, and it could be that you're still holding on to these things. And you're still holding on to these things even though you're way past these struggles now, and even though you've gained clarity about yourself and your own capabilities. So despite all of these things, for some reason you're still holding on to the past, probably again because there were some things that you were not able to say. It could be that you were not able to defend yourself, or it could be that sometimes you want to go back to the past and say something, stand up for yourself, things like that. And I'm getting that in order to overcome this emotionally, you need to move forward and leave this behind, and understand that you can still stand up for yourself, but you cannot go back in time. So this is something that you have to do moving forward. If you feel that you are being deliberately misunderstood, or that you are being unfairly misjudged, you have every power to defend yourself in the present. And that going back to the past or always revisiting the past is not going to change anything, because the past is inaccessible. It's an impossible task that you're wanting to do. So you have to let that go, to accept it, to forgive yourself, and to move forward. Now, let's look at any actionable steps that you can take in order to improve your sleep. Now, I will try to pull some cards that will say normal everyday things, or I will try to interpret it in that way, but with the other piles, sometimes it tells me big picture things. So just be open to either. So what actionable steps can you take in order to improve your sleep? So first of all, we have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Page of Cups. We have the Eight of Cups. And we have the Star. or in this deck, the stars. Okay, so what actionable steps can you take in order to improve your sleep? Okay, so I'm seeing some everyday things here. Um, you can practice things that have to do with self-care. So taking a warm bath, um, having something to drink, something that soothes you. Um, listing the things that you are grateful for on that day, and connecting with people that make you feel cared for and understood. Now, I can also see big picture things, so it's nice that I'm seeing both in this pile. For big picture things, I'm seeing that, again, you have to look at how far you've come, and you have to take some time to consider whether it is beneficial to you to move forward while carrying burdens from the past. So I think that it also calls you to be grateful about how far you've come and all that you've achieved, and to look forward to all that you will continue to achieve. I'm also getting that, again, you have to move forward, you have to leave behind heavy, burdensome thoughts and feelings, things that no longer serve you. It might also involve people. So you leave these things behind, or you let these people walk away from you, or you don't necessarily have to cut one another off. You can just maintain some distance between one another. Understand that you are different now as a person, that you've grown, that you've matured, that you've changed, that you've improved. And you have now things that you used to wish for. So again, highlighting being grateful for what you have now. I can also see practicing self-compassion, being careful about the way that you talk to yourself, how you handle your emotions. You have to be gentle towards yourself. Treat yourself with care, with lightheartedness. Don't beat yourself up. Your self-esteem is also affected by the way that you talk to yourself. It's talking about how you can build a stronger foundation for yourself, your inner self, by doing simple things like talking to yourself in a kinder way, or being more understanding and more forgiving towards yourself. And finally, I can see that it's important for you to take some time to heal. This is something that might take a very long time. It might be a very long, drawn out process, but remain hopeful, because things are progressing in that regard. And depending on whether or not you believe in this, you are guided. I'm also getting that sometimes you might feel that these things are out of control, and I'm getting that this is just a part of life. It's not really something that you can control. You have to accept. You have to face it with acceptance. Um, and the only way to move forward is to surrender. So that is everything that I'm seeing. I think I will end it here. Thank you, pile number 4, for watching this reading all the way through if you did. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like. That way I know that you want to see more videos just like this. Subscribe for more tarot readings as I'll be posting regularly. And leave a comment down below. Tell me how you relate to this and what you might want me to explore in the next video. I appreciate your time and attention. I will see you next time.